Hello everyone, and welcome to part 4 of our May 2024 estate sale 45 RPM vinyl record editions. And if you've been watching this series, you know that the lady had been a DJ. So we've got some interesting ones to come across in the remaining stack that we have here to look at. This one's being kind of interesting. Pinball Wizard, See Me, Feel Me from the Tommy movie soundtrack by the New Seekers. So I believe this is obviously the film version. And the B-side of it has a different song, Come Softly to Me, which I don't remember being part of Tommy. It's definitely not noted as being written by Peter Townsend, as the Pinball Wizard track obviously was. It's interesting too that it's arranged by Tommy. I like that, you know. It doesn't mean so much on the back side, but on the front side, yeah, from the rock opera Tommy, arranged by Tommy Oliver. So I don't know. I just thought that was amusing. And next up, I couldn't leave this one behind, even though I know I've got a few copies of it. I thought the label looked different. I didn't remember that logo being on a previous copy that I had of Hocus Pocus by Focus. And if you haven't heard Gary Hoey's version of this, definitely look that up and give that a spin, because he really rocked it up. Did a really awesome jammed up guitar instrumental version of this. It's basically an instrumental song anyways, except for you do have the vocals, you know, do 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 do. Yeah, and the B-side is Hocus Pocus 2. So, but yeah, and it's a good looking copy, really nice, clean looking copy. So I definitely wanted to pick this one up again, even though I know it's a title that I did already own. The next one here, this was a true find. This one was a really nice one to stumble across. The Blue Ridge Rangers from 1973 doing Hearts of Stone. Now, if you don't know anything about the Blue Ridge Rangers, or this doesn't ring any bells for you, it's actually John Fogerty, and it's only John Fogerty. He played all of the instruments, did the vocals. This was actually the second single off of that first album. He did do a sequel to it many, many years later, Blue Ridge Rangers Rides Again, but this was the first album he did after leaving Creedence Clearwater Revival. And like I said, this was the second single. It hit number 37 in the U.S. and 35 in Canada. It's kind of funny because the first single was Jambalaya, and it hit number 16 in the U.S. and number 15 in Canada. Just slight variances there on the chart positions. He did have a third single that didn't do nearly as well. I forgot to note down what that one was off that first album. But as I said, this was the second single, and it did quite well as well. B-side of this one being a song called Somewhere Listening for My Name. Now, I really wasn't into this at the time. I liked CCR back in the day, but I'm not really into country. And even though I'm going to be doing a series of country 45s, I've gotten a little bit of feedback from some of the comments I've asked on previous videos, and there is interest in them. So I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of country videos here in the very near future and put them up. But it's not really my thing. I just have a bunch of them from having bought random boxes of vinyls. I do pick up a lot of country, a lot of disco too, and I'm going to be doing some more of those. Because believe it or not, my Dance to Disco video has more views than any other 45 RPM video I put up. So we're definitely going to film some more of those. Next one up we have here in this stack, got old Nipper there listening to the phonograph. Mr. Sandman by Homer and Jethro. So this, I don't believe, is Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream, do. Homer and Jethro, they did novelty songs, and there's quite a few here in this stack we're going to get into of novelty songs coming up to look at. Some of them I just guessed by the titles. They sounded comical, sounded funny to me. A couple of them are definitely country and western, but I wanted to check them out. Like I said, most of these I paid 50 cents for. A couple of them that have paper sleeves on them, I did pay $1. But I left all the $5 and $10 ones that they had at the sale behind. They had a whole bunch of the cardboard picture sleeves from the 50s with the teen heartthrobs. They were wanting $5 for all them, and I let somebody else go ahead and pick those up. But I did pick up quite a few interesting titles, this being one of them, because I know Mr. Sandman, but I don't think Homer and Jethro are singing the Mr. Sandman song. You know, always makes you think of Halloween. At the end of Halloween, when they started playing that, I thought that was the most appropriate song they could have come up with to end the Halloween movie with, was Mr. Sandman. Anyways, the B-side of this one's called The Nutty Lady of Shady Lane. And you could definitely tell that that would be novelty themed just by that title. Mr. Sandman wouldn't necessarily be. But next up, we've got one that kind of hits a little close to home. I know this song is a Van Halen song, Big Bad Billy, Sweet William Now. And I think I did sing that Billy, but I think it's Big Bad Bill is, not Billy. It's hard to sing it, you know, Big Bad Bill is Sweet William Now, instead of Billy's. Anyways, Van Halen did a cover of this on their Diver Down album. Obviously, they didn't write it. This isn't the original version either. Peggy Lee did a cover of it. Many people have done covers of this over the years. This goes back to the teens when it was originally written and recorded. But it's a... I had to pick this up just because of the Van Halen connection, you know. I think Van Halen did it kind of more of a joke. They were kind of ribbing Eddie with his relationship that he had going on with Valerie Bertinelli at the time, because this was right around the time they got together. But anyways, the B-side of this is a song called I'm a Woman. And now that could actually be the A-side. I didn't really investigate this fully, and as you know, it's very difficult sometimes to figure out what's an A-side or B-side unless you just go online and look it up. I know Wikipedia takes some beatings for not being 100% accurate because you have so many hands in the pot, but there is a wealth of really great information on Wikipedia, and you can find out the A's and B-sides of a lot of 45s on there. There are definitely other resources as well. I'm just kind of a fan of Wikipedia and their discographies for bands and stuff. So anyways, this is actually probably the A-side, since Big Bad Bill is a cover song, but you just never know. It could have been intended to be the A-side. Something we'd have to take time to look up, and I obviously did not. I looked up some other things for this video, but that wasn't one of them that I took the time on. Now, here we're getting into ones that definitely I just picked up for the laughs. Tom T. Hall, now I know that's country and western artist, but Ode to a Half Pound of Ground Round. For 50 cents, it was worth it to pick this one up just because I like that title. It put a smile on my face and was something I thought might be fun to listen to. I do like novelty records, a big fan of Dr. Demento, and I've got a whole entire box coming up soon that are just weird titles, weird bands, things I'm not familiar with, but a lot of novelty things in there. Most of them have a Fritz name written on the label, so one individual owned the bulk of them. But yeah, I have an entire box that I'm going to be filming and putting up in the not too distant future of novelty things. But the B-side of this one is Pinto, the Wonder Horse is Dead. And that's clearly something that's probably got a comical tint to it as well. But the Ode to a Half Pound of Ground Round made me laugh just reading that. All right, so next up, here's another good one. Probably a good way to get back at somebody. I'm going to hire a wino to decorate your home. David Friselle. Now, I've never heard of David Friselle before. But it's an Eastwood Garrett music production. That's interesting. I wonder if there's any connection to Clint there on there. But, yeah, I'm going to hire a wino to decorate your home. Just another one. Got me with the title. And the B-side here is She's up to all her old tricks again. And no, I've never heard the song, so I wasn't really singing it. That's just the way it came out. All right, now here we got a good one. This is one that my wife would probably really enjoy. Who wears short shorts? Do 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 do. You wear short shorts. By the Royal Teens. Now, I'm pretty sure that's the song, Short Shorts, the one I was just singing. Could be wrong. But I don't know the origins of who originally did it, so this might be the original Royal Teens. I know it goes back quite a few years, that song. I remember it being used in a Nair, I think it was, a hair removal commercial. Women putting these foam on their legs that would, dissolve the hair off so they didn't have to shave them. But who wears short shorts? I remember they used this song in that commercial. That's probably going back to the late 70s. Don't even know if they make Nair anymore. But B-side of this was also one that actually piqued my interest, Planet Rock. So, I'm a big sci-fi fan. I love space-themed sci-fi fantasy, my favorite type stuff. The Planet Rock, definitely something. Sounds like something that the Stray Cats would cover, but I don't believe they ever did. But it's just a title that sounded cool, especially when the next one in the box was Guitar in Orbit by the Virtues. So yeah, Planet Rock from Guitar in Orbit. That's pretty cool. And Hunt there, a product of Global Record Company. I don't think I've ever came across a vinyl from them before. And the B-side here, oh Louise tagged the living daylights out of it, and trust me, those things are super good on there. It says Guitar Boogie Shuffle, so underneath there, if you get it in the right, just like you can make out it says Guitar Boogie Shuffle. So that's going to wrap up part 4. We've got part 5 coming up for you right away.